Good morning, people, and welcome to day 4 of peak week. So this morning, woken up, done the business as usual, cooked up pre-workout meal and post-workout meal. I have my breakfast, so the steak and veg in the air fryer, and that's how we're going from here. So got my shots in this morning, looking a lot tighter. Well, not a lot tighter, but relatively tighter. Pretty much yesterday, AJ's plan of attack for today was to run the exact same thing that we did yesterday. No changes. The only thing is he's going to look at the photos that I took this morning, and he's going to decide whether we add in more carbs to my meal 4 or my meal 5. So my meal 4 already had 50 grams of rice added to it yesterday. My meal 4 is the 200 grams of blueberries and 50 grams of whey isolate. So we may add that based on the photos, based on his reaction to it. Today we'll probably be getting a session down at Doherty's in Brunswick. A little bit of a different gym. I just want to use some prime equipment for the pool session, see what they've got, see what we can move around. Last time I went there was 4 years ago when my brother competed in IFBB. So long time ago, and back then I didn't know what I was doing when I was at the gym either. The other thing that I do want to talk about is obviously peak week. So people think peak week is this magical thing where you're just going to all of a sudden start looking better. Look, to be honest with you, you can't think of it that way. So what's going to happen is you just want to make minor adjustments. The only way that you're going to look better through peak week, in my opinion, if you're not ready for the show, if you're not in that condition, is you're just going to, obviously you're going to look a lot fuller. There's a lot more glycogen in the muscle. It's going to push the muscle up against the skin, where you will look a little bit more striated, but nothing's really going to make too much of a difference. So don't think as peak week as this magical thing that's just all of a sudden going to make you win the show and you're the best on stage. There's no secret to it. It's just the same thing. Run it back. Make sure you're looking blasting full, while also holding that level of conditioning that you personally can hold. The other thing based on holding that level of conditioning that I do want to talk about is, obviously for me, I'm not in perfectly peeled condition. I'm in enough condition for my level of muscularity at the moment. So obviously I don't have that muscle density, that muscle maturity. I'm relatively young, and I've only really been taking training very seriously probably for the last 2 years, maybe 3 years max. So I still do have a long way to go. I do need a little bit more density, a little bit more maturity, and then when I do that, that condition will come in, no doubt. I will be able to get an absolutely peeled condition without looking too stringy, without looking too flat, without looking too small. But what we can do is today I'll have a sit down with you guys. We'll go through what my plan is for maybe moving into the off season, and what I want to perform, and I'll give you a little list, a little bit of a rundown of some goals that I do have, to be, the best possible me next time I do step foot on stage. But for the time being, I'll end this clip here because this has been a long, rambling clip, and I'll see you on the next one, and I'm going to say it, we'll go from there. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the gym, just getting in my pre-workout meal now, so we're going to smash this down. I thought, what better way to eat? You can hear me chew, have a little chat. So same meal as yesterday, not going to go over it. It's exactly the same, haven't changed anything. Like I said this morning, nothing's been adjusted. We're going to get some nice push session in. So I usually start my push sessions with a chest or shoulder movement. I don't like to pre-fatigue because I do find and then that does affect my main pressing movements. So today I think we're going to go with a shoulder press to start, then into a chest, or vice versa, chest press into a shoulder press, into a lateral raise, into a fly, then a bit of triceps, and we'll finish off with another shoulder movement. So just to confirm, what I just explained of what I was doing in the session is not what I did. I did a chest press, a shoulder press, dips, then I did a lateral raise, then I did another chest press, then I did some tries. It's just, I just like to keep it effective. I like to be efficient while I'm training. My push sessions will get a little bit of a pump, but it's also a big focus on just pressing as much as I can while I've got as much food in, and just utilizing all the food that we have got coming in. Like I said, I think I said it in yesterday's video, I've trained at Doherty's Brunswick here once, and it was when I didn't even know what I was doing, to be honest with you. Barely trained,
just sort of went to support Michael. I think he was getting a spray tan, and I just went in there. I was there for like fucking 2.5 hours or something like that, just trying out different machines. So we're going to give it a go today. Real red hot crack. I know my equipment a lot better now. I know my training a lot better now, so it should be really fun. But other than that, that's what we're going to do. Chow down, get in there, get some clips, and I guess you'll see the training next up. Gotten in the flat hamstring press, ran side back shoulder press. First time using it and absolutely loved it. Really recommend using it if you've got it. I felt like I was in a stable position for the shoulders. Didn't really hurt them, which is phenomenal. Got some tricep machine dips. Made sure they were chest bias. Making sure I'm leaning forward, keeping the chest against the pad, and really driving through with the pec. Now just using this Watson lateral raise, not massive on it. Do feel it definitely in the side delts, but also getting a little bit of trap involved. I think it's just because the handles are a little bit big, and the range is a little bit awkward, but nonetheless I'm still going to finish off with it anyway. I want to use the prime chest press as well, so I'm going to use that. Then we will probably jump into triceps, and then that should be a wrap. We'll get some posing done, and we'll see what we look like with a pump. So let's get after it. Alright, so training is all wrapped up, posing all wrapped up, getting in my post-workout feed in the car. So at this point in the video, what I want to do is, I did say at the start, I want to run through what post-show / off-season, post-season I want to achieve. So obviously based on judges' feedback, whatever they give me, that's really what I'm going to focus on as far as bringing up specific body parts and, you know, what I need to improve on and all of that jazz. But I've got a list on my phone here of things that I want post-comp, so in off-season. First thing, keeping it around that, I really do feel like, personally, from a personal level, I do really need to bring up my buys, quads, and probably my mid-back, my rhomboids. I feel like these are my weaker points at this point, and that's what gives me a little bit more density and will give me a little bit more, you know, stage presence, so to speak. My lower half obviously neglected a lot of that while I was a little bit younger and training fresh in the gym, as you all do, because, you know, training chest and shoulders is what we want. I was never an arms guy either, so that's probably why I do have a little bit weaker buys. My tries are normally pretty developed, which is a good thing, but just the buys and my mind to muscle connection with my buys was never that great. So that'll be one of the first things that I want to focus on in the off season. One of the next ones is I really want to get involved in like SLDL. So I really want to get really strong in stiff-legged deadlifts. I really want to make that a big portion of a lot of my training, and that will come with, that will bring along a lot of mid to upper back development, and also a lot of hamstring development as well. So I want that also to be another focus for me, is bringing in stiff-legged deadlifts and getting really fucking strong at them and getting really dense muscle from performing them. The next one is going to be structuring my meal plan. So last off season, I was a little bit flexible. I had my meals where my pre, my post, my intra, and my dinners and were pretty much, no, not even dinners. I'd say pre, post, and intra were very similar all the time, but the rest of my calories I'd sort of just fit in. So what I want to do is I want to have a structured meal plan. I want one of those dishes to have liver in it. I do want to have a meal with eggs, and I do want to have a meal with salmon as well. So that's going to be a big focus as far as nutrient density goes when my meal plan comes into play. The other one is enjoying off-plan eating. So obviously, I've I've obviously with my partner, I do want to enjoy some off-plan eating, but I really want to utilize that off-plan eating. So what I'm thinking is, I'm going to discuss this with AJ, obviously, but I want my Saturday session to be one of my sessions where we want the most development, so I can utilize that off-plan eating and utilize the nutrients from those meals to really gain that muscle density. So really just using it for refeeding purposes and that muscle development. And last but not least, when will I compete next? So I always get asked this from a lot of my clientele, and personally, I don't think I want to compete till 2025. I think I need a good 2 years off to put on the muscle that I do want to compete again and become really, really super competitive. Don't get me wrong, right now I can't really predict how competitive I'm going to be, but I do need that more muscle and that muscle density, that muscle maturity to be super competitive. So I want at least 2 years of an off season off, and then with that 2025 competitive season, I think I want to compete overseas in the UK, so I can be under close guidance of AJ. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to live there and stay there for the whole time, but I want to be there for at least a month to sort of be under his guidance, see, you know, be around Ultraflex, all that kind of thing, and really dial in and make sure I can, you know, get something out of it. Like bodybuilding, you can travel the globe doing it, and as an online coach, what you can do is as well, the beauty is you can take the work with you. So that's going to be my off-season goals and plans as far as I do go. And yeah, so now I'm just going to wrap up this meal, head home, and we will see what AJ says when he gets back to me, because by the time I get home, he'll probably get back to me with a plan of attack and what we're going to do for tomorrow or anything extra that we need to add today. So I'll see you when we're at home. So I feel like you guys are constantly seeing me in the same spot, but just watching Jamie the Giant and Joe Hull's Italy Yamamoto Pro series at the moment. So pretty much got the update from AJ now that we're home. So what we've done is we've added in 50 grams of rice to meal 4. So now meal 4 is 100 grams of rice, 150 grams of pork mince, 150 grams of green beans, and that's it. So that'll be the bigger meal. One of the bigger meals now. It's bigger than my, it's about the same as my post-workout meal anyway. But later on I'll show you what I do for the smoothie. And then as my last meal, because I turn it into a smoothie more than anything, most often. But we'll run through that, the way I make it, what I do, what I put into it. Very simple. And then we'll wrap the video up on that note, because now I'm just going to chill out, watch some YouTube videos, edit this video, so it's ready to go for tomorrow. And then as far as tomorrow does go, I don't know what gym I'm going to go to. Could go anywhere. Could be anywhere. I'm thinking maybe Atomic, Universal, or Owl's Gym, somewhere a little bit more local, just so I don't have to drive as far, that's all. But I'll see you when we are doing that final meal. Okay, so I'm going to wrap the video up here. I did make the smoothie, but my camera fell off the tripod and the lens didn't break. It did break. Got fucking wedged in. And Dad fixed it, so thank God. But, so I didn't get any footage of that, so I'm going to have to wrap the video up here. But pretty much what I do with this smoothie is I do about, I think it's about 200 grams of ice, so ice blocks. Then I do about 150 to 200 mils of water. I do about 10 grams of sugar-free maple syrup, 50 grams banana, 100 grams blueberries, and then I do 35 grams of whey. Blend it up, comes out like an icy sort of smoothie ice cream consistency, and then I eat it with a spoon. And then with the other 15 grams of whey, what I'll do is I'll just make a mug cake in the microwave, just to get it, because if I put 50 grams of whey isolate in the smoothie, it makes it too thin and watery. But other than that, that is all. Hope you did enjoy today's video. Tomorrow we'll run it back, different session. It's a pool session, so we'll get into that. And then Thursday will be a rest day. I don't know what I'm going to get footage of there, because it'll probably be a little bit boring, but it'll probably be just posing at the gym. I'll head down to my local gym, get some posing done, go for a walk, all that kind of jazz. But we will see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.